Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Vance, Normandy, and realities. Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance has suggested that those who stormed the beaches of Normandy would be voting for Trump. It's an obvious attempt to deflect from the comparisons coming out between the ticket he's on and, well, other leaders from the era. It's an interesting premise, saying you have a time machine so you can go back and ask people from the period how they would vote. It's a neat plot device for fiction. Totally unnecessary, but I'll play your silly little game. Let's pretend we're standing on Utah Beach and we ask them if they would rather vote for somebody with a few progressive beliefs or somebody whose own vice presidential candidate wondered if he was, quote, America's Hitler. What do you think they'd say? But we don't need to do that. There's this weird thing about history. We can just go look and see how they voted. Drum roll, please. The greatest generation, the men who stormed the beaches of Normandy, voted for FDR 4 times. 1932, 36, 40, and 1944. That's right. The people who Vance wants to portray as Trump voters voted in FDR. When you leave MAGA Mythland, those ultra-tough men voted in the liberal guy behind the New Deal. Go ahead and compare Trump's policies or Project 2025 to the New Deal. Basically, Trump's policies are to rip apart what they voted for. This is the most ahistorical nonsense I've heard in a while. Conservatives do not get to lay claim to that era or Normandy. Trump dodges questions about the minimum wage. FDR said if a business couldn't pay a living wage, they had no rights to exist in the U.S. I know. Somebody is going to say that Vance was really talking about cultural issues. You know, the stuff they use to divide Americans. I think he specifically mentioned trans people. You want to talk about American GIs in Europe during World War II and how they felt about it? I suggest you look up Christine Jorgensen. You can find out about her by searching for headlines. Ex-GI becomes blonde beauty. Civil rights and equality? You're telling me you think Medgar Evers would be a Trump supporter? I can't say for sure, but I'm doubtful. He was actually at Normandy because his unit was part of the Red Ball Express. What about the tens of thousands of Puerto Rican soldiers? Some who fought at the Battle of the Bulge. For the people who seem to equate the entirety of World War II with Operation Overlord, the Battle of the Bulge was after D-Day. Need I remind you that it was FDR's VP who desegregated the military in 48? That's who they were. Yeah, sure, they weren't all enlightened people on D-Day, but the majority voted in FDR. We know this because even though he was bucking the 2-term traditions, when he ran for his 4th term, he captured 432 electoral votes and won the popular vote by 7.5 points. Let's be clear. The only thing that actually lines up between FDR and Trump are the camps. The thing that today is one of the biggest blots on FDR's record. Don't let conservatives sell you on the idea World War II was won because of conservative leadership or that that's how the people would have voted back then. Because it's just not true. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.